Missed out on yesterday's NBA action? Well, I got you guys. Welcome to TV's Daily NBA Recap, where I recap yesterday's NBA action in a short amount of time. Let's go. The first game I want to discuss is the Game 5 between the Toronto Raptors and the Boston Celtics. And the Celtics absolutely mugged the Raptors. They win 111-89 behind Jaylen Brown's 27 points and 6 rebounds, also helping out Kemba Walker with 21 points, Jason Tatum with 18, and also Brad Wanamaker off the bench with 15, 3, and 2. On the Raptors side of things, Fred VanVleet, 18 points and 5 assists, Norman Powell, 16 points, 3 assists in this game. As you can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not very happy. And it was because right from the very jump, the Raptors showed no energy. This is could be a series deciding game, and the Raptors came out as flat as they could look. I thought Game 1 was bad. Game 5 was even worse. We scored 11 points in the first quarter, and there was just no flow to the offense whatsoever. It was extremely awkward. Everyone seemed bunched up in certain areas, and it was just shots late into the shot clock, lots of turnovers. It was ugly. They finished the first quarter with a 20% field goal percentage. And the thing was, at least for the first quarter and stuff like that, the Raptors defense didn't look that bad. And you had Boston shooting under 40% and all that, and you're like, okay, we'll be okay with that. All we have to do is hopefully we can get the offense going and the defense can just continue to do well. Well, that wasn't the case, because once the second quarter came around, more struggles on the offensive end. And I think we went 2 or 3 minutes without a bucket in that second quarter. Sure, we scored 24 points, but the defense absolutely was horrible in that quarter. 37 points given up. And it was to Jaylen Brown. I mean, Jaylen Brown had a bad game the game before, and he bounced back pretty well. But Brad Wanamaker was hitting a bunch of buckets. They couldn't guard Tyson's side. He had 6 free throw attempts. And I think the Raptors are just so fixated on stopping Jason Tatum in this game, they just kind of let the other people do their thing. And this is the worst part I was talking about before the series, is that the Celtics have so many playmakers that even if you take away one option, you'll have Jaylen Brown doing something good. Kemba Walker it wasn't allowed 21 points, but it's still 21 points nonetheless. And the Raptors just, like I said, looked as flat as what's freaking flat? As flat as a thin sheet of paper. Really, that's all it is. And the Celtics mugged us. That's plain and simple. We couldn't get anything going with our starting lineup. Siakam, 10 points in this game. Sure, he got 5 out of 9, but he just couldn't get anything going, especially because he had freaking foul trouble in the third quarter. This guy just kept fouling for no reason. And Marc Gasol. Oh my god. Marc Gasol is a freaking liability at this point. There's no matchup on the Celtics where he can shine unless it's Enes Kanter. And Brad Stevens is smart enough to know that, look, Enes Kanter is just not going to do us any good in this series. And he only played him in garbage time today. So Boucher, from what I've seen yesterday, is still not a great option. But anything could be better than Marc Gasol. Freaking 0 points, 5 rebounds, 0 assists. You couldn't even do his, good assist type of thing. It was that bad. Yeah, the Raptors got absolutely mugged, and it's looking rough. I'm going to Game 6, but knowing the Raptors, they're going to bounce back and try and take it, but it's going to look pretty tough because the Celtics, they're looking like the much better team. Even in the Raptors win, the Raptors should have won those by considerably larger amounts, but they were still the Celtics were still in the game, and this is kind of the case here. There's just too many options to defend out on the perimeter, and the Raptors don't have enough to kind of counteract that. And that's really just the plain truth about it. And I hear Raptors fans on Twitter saying, oh, the refs are against us, and stuff like that. I don't care about the refs. The Celtics got the better of us. Not just this game, Game 1 and 2 as well. And we're going to need to put in our A game, because this is literally a do-or-die situation. So hopefully the Raptors can bounce back and try and top the series come tomorrow. The next game I want to discuss was a bit more entertaining. We have the LA Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets second round matchup, Game 3, in which the Clippers squeezed out a victory 113-107. Playoff P came up huge in this game, and I'm not exaggerating. This guy was absolutely fantastic, scoring 32 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 for 18 shooting. Very good game. Kawhi Leonard, not as dominant as he could be, but this guy is just too good. 23 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, including one where he freaking blocked it with his middle finger. This guy is just absolutely ridiculous. Also, on the Clippers side of things, they got some good production from Marcus Morris, 12 points, 10 points off the bench from Lou Williams, and 11 points from Montrezl Harrell. On the Denver Nuggets side of things, Jamal Murray struggled. 14 points on 17 shots with 9 assists. But the star of this game was freaking Nikola Jokic, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. It was Michael Porter. Finally a good playoff game for Michael Porter. 18 points and 10 rebounds off the bench. This is a very entertaining game just throughout. And especially in the first quarter, it was very back and forth. Before the game, there was a lot of emphasis on trying to win a defensive battle. And funnily enough, the opposite happened in the first quarter. It felt like no one could miss. 33 points and 32 points from each team. But then in the second quarter came, it felt like the Nuggets were trying to break away. And there was a point where they were at a 12-point lead, and it looked like, could be a repeat of game 2. But the Clippers came back. They got the lead down to 2 in the by halftime. And, the Denver Nuggets just kept trying to pull away. There wasn't really a time where the Clippers had had full control of the game until the end. And the Nuggets felt like they just kept extending the lead. Having Michael Porter go off for that game was absolutely huge because he was just kind of an extra scoring option, who can dribble the ball as well. And he also had that fantastic dunk over Montrezl Harrell. That was absolutely nasty, one of the better dunks of the playoffs so far. Kind of rivaled by the Jaylen Brown dunk. I didn't even talk about it from the last games. So 2 great posters on the night. But the Denver Nuggets just could not get it done in the fourth quarter, especially offensively, in the final 6 minutes or so. If they just scored on an averagely, because they were playing not bad defense on the Clippers, they weren't, and except for near the end of the game where they just couldn't stop anyone. But if they just had a decent offense, they would have obviously a better chance of winning that. But they just didn't. They just couldn't hit shots. Nikola Jokic, I believe, only had 4 or 5 points in the fourth quarter. Jamal Murray was shooting up breaks, and for some reason, Michael Porter Jr. didn't play for the last 2 minutes because he was a good spark plug for them off the bench in this game. And then just looking at the Clippers side of things, sure, Will Williams had 10 points only, but he had some big buckets down late. Paul George was great the entire game, which is a good sign. And Kawhi Leonard just doing Kawhi Leonard type things, and that was able to lead them to victory. You're going to get some good games from Nikola Jokic, and I talked about for the Nuggets, and I talked about that as one of the things to look for in this series. And he's been doing great, honestly. It's just that he just needs a bit more help from Jamal Murray. And this is kind of my worry about him. He kind of has these up and down fluctuation type games. And this is kind of the bad you go Jamal Murray. He's going to, sometimes he just gets cold. It happens. And it happened in yesterday's game. It was good that they were able to stay in the game with Michael Porter Jr. and stuff like that. Like I said, they were at points getting to leads that are 10, 12 in the second quarter and third quarter, but they just weren't able to close it out. And that's unfortunate, but there's still some good things to look at this Denver team, and the Clippers team do look better, but if they can clean up some of their offense, especially their defense, because what's funny about this game is that before the fourth quarter, they have those little coaches interviews, and Michael Malone was talking about how, look, we're doing good on the offensive end, but we need to also win the defensive end if we want to win this game. And that's not what happened at all in that fourth quarter. So tough loss for the Nuggets. Let's see if they're going to be able to bounce back, but also a good win for the Clippers. And this is the end of today's recap. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, if you're on YouTube, to like, share, and subscribe. I'd be very much appreciated. And if you're on 90TV, drop a follow, leave a like. Thank you very much. And thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch this. So I will come back tomorrow with another recap. And just look out for more posts today on my Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys. Peace.